Oh, here we go again. What's Paul Scholes been saying now? Yo, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well, dear friends. I really do hope that, and welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily, that's right, series here on Football Therapy, where I see what's being said around the Blues, giving you my opinion, but of course, more importantly, asking for yours. Paul Scholes, ex-Manchester United player and Man United legend, recently said the Chelsea defence isn't all that. When clearly the Chelsea defence is all that. Now he's saying Man United aren't that far off and they could beat Chelsea. Someone tell this man to stick to toe sucking, although preferably not his daughters. Recently in the media, there's pictures of him getting a lap dance that has surfaced, and I love the social media comments. Why is he cheating on his daughter? Look, come on. I'm just having a little bit of fun, guys. Settle in, get comfortable, do drop a like if you want to support the content, consider subscribing if you are new, and I'm delighted to let you know this video is brought to you by OneFootball. Yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the OneFootball app is a completely and entirely free footballing companion app that you can have on your phone that gives you stats, lineups, fixtures, results, news, transfer news, everything for free. I use it on the regs and you can too, ladies and gentlemen. Click the link in the top of the description to go check out OneFootball now for free as we get into it. Hokey cokey, we're going to be citing an article to look at what old Paul Scholes has been saying in the media about Chelsea Football Club. We're going to react accordingly and then perhaps talk about Chelsea as a whole and where we're at and what the problems are. Of course, we've just come off that disappointing 1-1 draw with Burnley at home when really we should have tucked them up 2-3, 4-0. We're going into the international break. Chelsea are top of the table regardless. At time of recording, Liverpool, West Ham have not kicked off. Whatever happens in that result, it don't matter, mate. Let's jump into this article and find out what the situation is with this Chelsea criticism. Paul Scholes has doubled down on his recent criticism of Chelsea by claiming that Manchester United would still beat Thomas Tuchel's side. By the way, context, Manchester United's last two Premier League games, they've lost 7-0 on aggregate to their two biggest rivals. Chelsea have conceded one goal from open play all season in the Premier League, and that was against Burnley at home. And apparently, yes, the Man City goal was from a set piece, whatever. Point being, immaculate record from Chelsea, pretty dismal record from Manchester United. The former midfielder's comments come in the wake of United's resounding 2-0 defeat to rivals Manchester City yesterday, where the hosts were played off the park in large spells. While Scholes was quick to point out just how far away the Red Devils are from the likes of Liverpool and City in terms of quality, he seemingly doesn't hold Chelsea in quite high esteem. Regarding Tuchel's side, who won the last season's Champions League trophy after beating Manchester City in the final, he instead suggested that his former club could beat Chelsea today if they met. I don't know why Paul Scholes has suddenly gone on this weird anti-Chelsea agenda. I'm not entirely sure he ever had this. He really wants to separate the quality, the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, away and above from Chelsea. Sure, they have better attacking cohesion at the moment, but in terms of a side that knows how to play and win, Chelsea are second to none. Like the fact that was just stated in this article, Chelsea beat Man City in the Champions League final, beaten all sorts of great teams recently under Thomas Tuchel. I don't know what suddenly has changed or got his back up so much that he needs to go on this peculiar vendetta against Chelsea. Scholes' stance confused United and Chelsea fans alike on social media. Much of the confusion stems from the fact that the Blues are currently top of the Premier League, having already gone to Anfield and earned a point at the very start of the season. Yes, it does not surprise me that Manchester United fans, like Chelsea fans, are confused from Scholes' comments. Not only did we get a point at Anfield, that was with 10 men. We dominated the game of 11 until Reece James was sent off, and it took a Mo Salah penalty to even things up. Had that been 11 versus 11, I think Chelsea were probably favourites to take all 3 points away at Anfield. So what's Scholes been doing, mate? The 46-year-old, who is now a regular pundit for BT Sports Premier League and Champions League coverage, previously downplayed Chelsea's chances of competing for silverware this season. Last month, during an episode of The Overlap, Scholes told a Chelsea fan he didn't think they were great defensively. Quote, "I think Antonio Rudiger's been really good, but other than that, you've got Thiago Silva, who's 36 or 37. Andreas Christensen's a young player. I think in the middle of the pitch you're alright. Jorginho and Kante are really good players. I'm just not sure that you'll score enough goals and that you're defensively good enough. End pause. There's so much to unpack here and there's so much nonsense, it's hurting my brain. Yes, Thiago Silva's 36 or 37, but he's been immaculate. Andreas Christensen, he's a young player. No, he's not. He's 25, and we want to get him to a new deal because he's very, very good. And yes, you're right. Rudiger's good. You know who else is good? Cesar Azpilicueta. Do you want to know who else is good? Trevor Chalobah. He's been a revelation. Criticise us all you like going forwards, Paul Scholes, but defensively, Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel, ever since he's come into Chelsea, I think Chelsea are the best team in the Premier League defensively and in Europe. We broke the record in the Champions League for conceding least goals and going on to win it. Does he not know that? Does he not know that? Record breakers. Defensively, I mean, I know it was the lad Lewis that went on the overlap. He's obviously talking to Paul Scholes. He doesn't want to get too aggy on him. But had he perhaps just had like a moment like, well, it's interesting you say that, Paul Scholes, because these are the players that broke the record in the Champions League for defensive record that had a really tough run to the final, beating Premier League champions Manchester City in said final. I know hindsight's 2020, but that's the kind of stuff that needs to be said to Paul Scholes. Let alone, I think we do have the best defensive record in the Premier League since Thomas Tuchel's come in. So, we all know it's nonsense. Paul Scholes talking about the Chelsea defence, he's off his head. He's off his head, he's been sucking one too many toads and it's melted his brain. Look, I've got no problem with Paul Scholes personally. I've always actually thought his punditry is quite funny, how he's like this sort of nihilist Manchester United fan. Of course, he was an incredible player, absolute amazing sort of, quality, oozing quality, nonchalant quality in the middle of the pitch, great passing and all that. But his recent and peculiar turn against Chelsea, saying they're nowhere near Man City, they're nowhere near Liverpool, well, we could beat him. Manchester United could beat Chelsea. Let's unpick that. Probably, because any team can beat any team, depending on the day. We've just dropped points to Burnley. It can happen. We've only lost once, and it was a 1-0 loss to Man City, but Thomas Tuchel would probably be the first to admit that was an incorrect tactical approach, and he would switch it up next time round. Manchester United... The thing is, the gods of narrative would probably have it. They will beat Chelsea now. You know how football works. Transition, probably let Chelsea come onto them and then try and hit us on the break. Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo can always score a goal. Who knows? But to be so confident and come out like that and disrespect Chelsea saying we're nowhere near Manchester City and Liverpool is silly. Sure, like I said, the attack perhaps has got problems, we create chances, we don't finish them, echoes of Chelsea the last 2 or 3 years. But for him to come out and criticise the defence is mental. I know that was a little while ago and maybe since he's probably done some soul searching and reflecting. Maybe, I don't know, probably not. But to say we're so far off the other two is poor from him. Really poor punditry and really poor just human being football fan talking, Anyway, the truth is Chelsea do have problems clicking up front, although we've got loads of absentees. Of course, big Romelu Lukaku, the record signing for Chelsea Football Club, Timo Werner, who is important in the attack. People forget, yes, he misses chances, but he does a lot of stuff in the attack as well and helps Chelsea score goals in terms of diverting attention, making runs, making assists, and does score the odd goal himself. Perhaps people are missing the importance of Mateo Kovacic's absence, who of course has a bunch of assists for Chelsea this season, and a goal to boot. That's a collector's item, a Mateo Kovacic goal. So maybe missing him as well makes those incisive sort of through balls to assist forward runners, stuff like that, These are the sort of small things that can change how an attack is cohesive. Do you know what I mean? Despite all that, Chelsea still need to shape up and find a way to score goals and attack better. I think had they done that, they'd probably be smashing up teams a little bit more in the same way Liverpool do sometimes. And then maybe Paul Scholes wouldn't be talking too much about it. We've got bloody Rio Ferdinand saying Jorginho baffles him. We've got Paul Scholes saying United would beat Chelsea and Chelsea aren't that good. Man United are randomly turning on the Chelsea. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I want to see a conversation started up about this. If you want to support the content, please do drop a like on the video. It does help me out a lot. If you want to check out OneFootball, the link is in the top of the description, dear friends. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate you all. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life, seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.